Recently, I had the great fortune to find this tool on eBay, the FirstAscent. This is a very cool tool with a very cool tool set. This comes in at 4.8 ounces or 135 grams. And you'll notice that a lot of the design cues of this tool are very similar to the Leatherman Skeletool. So a lot of the skeletized frame. We'll get into a lot more characteristics, but I did want to, from the beginning, draw some similarities because I definitely think this tool was based off of the Skeletool. So again, the FirstAscent comes in at 4.8 ounces. Now my Skeletool with this on the bottom comes in at 5.2 ounces. This is an aftermarket hammer. You can buy these from Kristen Van Patten. This comes in at 147 grams. This comes in at 135 grams. When we compare the FirstAscent to the Leatherman Skeletool, this is the length ratio. So they're basically almost the same. The Skeletool does seem to be a little bit longer right here just because of the clip portion of it. When we talk about width, again, one of the things I love about this FirstAscent is it is a fairly narrow tool, but you do see that the knife sticks out a little bit right there. So pretty close. The Skeletool is still a little bit less wide right there. But again, it's just the knife that sticks out. The handles of the Ascent aren't actually wide at all. So this comes in at 4 inches or just a little bit over 10 centimeters long. So a very pocketable tool as well. Also with this, it actually comes with a little bit nicer pouch, a sheath. I usually don't talk about them that much because they're so generic, but it is Velcro. The sheath is the construction of it isn't great, but it's not really, it's a little bit better than some of the bottom of the line. I do like that you can carry this either way on your belt. Also, you could attach a clip to this, carry this on your backpack or other places as well. So one of the things we notice is several of these tools are outside opening. So we've got a locking knife blade that is combo edge. It is, again, a lot bigger than a lot of multi-tools. Also, one of the things I noticed, I don't know that it's going to show up on camera as much, is that we have a bronze or a copper washer right there, which to me shows a little bit more care on the design of this multi-tool. One of the tools we find on the outside is this bottle cap lifter. Looks pretty heavy duty right here. Reminds me a little bit of what you find on the Leatherman Mini. So pretty nice little option right there for those who desperately need a bottle cap lifter, as we find on so many multi-tools. But pretty nice, probably could almost use it as a pry tool, maybe almost as a hammer surface on the outside as well. So pretty nice little option. Now, one of the things that's a little quirky about this tool, but I don't really mind it as much as on other ones, is it does have a little flashlight, and they integrate this in such a way that it almost seems like it's just an extra. So it doesn't really take up that much space. It just sits right there. You have a tiny little keychain light, so it doesn't really bother me. Also, you do have the option if you lose or in the dark, you're trying to find your keys, maybe you've lost your wallet in the car. This could also come in handy just trying to have a tiny light for some of those tasks like that. So I think it's actually not too bad of an option. Then also, we have this screwdriver. Now, none of the rest of the implements are locking, but we do have this flat screwdriver. Then if we go to the inside of the tool, we do have a smaller Phillips screwdriver. Then we do also have this lanyard loop as well. Now, one of the things that really strikes me about this tool, and I'm surprised actually, is how it feels a lot more better quality than I'm used to on a lot of clones. So a lot of people copy Leatherman, but a lot of times they don't get it right. The tools feel a little sloppy. These actually feel a lot better than I'm used to. So I feel like this one, again, this is used. You can only buy these on the used market, unfortunately, anymore. They're discontinued. But this one actually feels better in my hand than the Leatherman Skeletool. So let me show you why. So with the Skeletool, if you get used to it, I'm sure it's not an issue, but with this right here, this piece coming down like that, that feels weird to my hand. I'm not used to that. I don't use my Skeletool that much. I would prefer a Bond or a PST, an older PST or even a SOG Power Assist if I want a very light duty tool. So this piece right here it just feels weird. Now with the Ascent, you have that traditional straight handles. So again, this tool is lighter than the Skeletool and it feels more comfortable in the hand. Yes, you do have some sharper edges, I suppose, right here. But again, this is a smaller tool. You won't be using it for as heavy duty task. Also, I do notice that the plier head seems a little bit, is it just me? Maybe a little bit wider, a little bit tougher than the Skeletool. It's pretty close, but it does seem to be perhaps, I don't think it's quite as thin right here in the needle nose part perhaps. But anyway, it's pretty close. So on the plier head, I think they're almost identical. So we do have that. Now, one of the things that the Skeletool has, this one doesn't, is this bit system. But again, it does require Leatherman bits, so that's almost a negative and a positive at the same time. So both of these tools, again, are very cool, very good for lightweight use. I personally find this one a little bit easier to use if I was going to use it. But one of the big negatives, I suppose, is that it doesn't have an outside pocket clip. So I feel like a pocket clip would have made it perfect, but again, that would have interfered with the comfortable use of it in the hands. So I suppose this pouch is a good option as well. So again, overall, I am very impressed with this. Now I've got another tool from FirstAscent. They seem to be, I think maybe they made tools for Eddie Bauer. They seem sort of connected with that. I know some of these were considered almost like ski tools. But this one right here is a very cool tool. I'm very impressed with it. Again, it seems to be a lot better made. I would definitely recommend, if you see this, pick one up because you'll probably not see it again for a long time. So keep a watch on eBay, or if someone wants to trade one, I definitely think it is worth your money.